I think the aftercare services by the PFA, I think they're abysmal. If I'm honest, I look at the duty of care that young players, towards young players in particular, I think is lacking. I know the PFA do some great courses, but there is that element I've always found in anecdotally talking to people, because obviously I've never been actually a professional footballer, but guys do say that they do feel almost abandoned afterwards, or some guys do. And I don't know whether that's fair or not, and if it's unfair, I'd apologise for it. But it's my very strong sense that football, a bit like music and stuff like that, is that it eats the young. It eats the young, doesn't it? And that's, I don't think enough is done in terms of holistic care for people in professional sport. Am I being unfair, Dean?
No, I'm sitting here and nodding, Mike. I agree with you. I don't think there's enough done. I think that's the right way to put it. I think there's an attempt to potentially help, but from a distance without real effort. Whether that's down to funding, whether that's down to not being interested, whether that's down to, like you say, duty of care, I'm really not sure. But I can only speak from my personal point of view. Never had any contact from anyone from the PFA when my contract ran out. Why would it need from me to make a public announcement that I'm going to retire from the game to someone to get in contact with me, which never happened anyway. But it's more duty of care of someone having a conversation with you. Okay, what are you looking to do now? Are you going to continue playing? You're at this certain age. Have you financially set yourself up? What are you going to do with your pension? What's your interest in terms of your next career? Could we help you with anything? Could we get in contact with some previous clubs? Could we set up some meetings for you? I think one thing that's massively helped me, and which I didn't do for a long time, is being able to speak to people, and being willing to open up and have a conversation with people that have gone through similar things. I think that's the major thing that misses, to being aware of what's potentially going to happen to you emotionally when the game's over. I think that's the major thing, emotionally, because the other stuff you can deal with, but your emotions, that's tough for every individual, and every individual is different. So having conversations with people is huge. So no, I agree with you. I've been finished the game 4 years now. I've not had one contact with anyone from the PFA, anyone within football, only because potentially I've reached out or tried to do something. No one's contacted me. So look, I know it works both ways, and players have to take more responsibility, 100%. But I think that, again, I use the word again, there needs to be more balance within the game. And I'm only talking about football because that's the sport I was in. But there needs to be more done.